Okay, welcome back, and we will be doing our third segment now, questions 11 to question 15. Here it says express 5 out of 3 minus x plus 2 over 2x as a single fraction in its simplest terms. So let's start. We write 5 over 3 minus x plus 2 over 2x. I need to make the denominators the same, so I will multiply the 3 by 2x and the 5 by 2x, and I'm going to multiply the 2x by 3 and the x minus x plus 2 by 3 as well. So in the numerator I will get 10x over 6x. Here I will get 3x plus 2 over 6x. So when I subtract, I'm going to do 10x minus 3x, sorry, that would be 3x plus 6. So when I subtract, I will get 10x minus 3x minus 6, because this minus and plus will turn that into a negative, all over 6x. Final answer, 7x minus 6 over 6x. Let's move on to the next question. The curve C has equation y is equal to 1/3 x cubed minus 9x plus 1. Find dy dx. So we do dy dx. I bring the power to the front, multiply it by the term, and subtract 1 from the power. The 9x to the power of 1, so I bring the 1 to the front, times by 9x 1 minus 1, and dy dx of a constant or just a number is actually 0. So simplifying that, you will get x squared. Simplifying that, you will get minus 9. So dy dx is x squared minus 9. Find the range of values of x for which c has a negative gradient. So x squared minus 9 has to be less than 0. X squared has to be less than 9. Now if I square root on both sides, let's say if it's x squared is equal to 9, x will be plus minus 3 by square rooting on both sides. So my final answer is going to be x is less than positive 3, but x will be greater than negative 3. Question number 13. Whenever you are solving a Venn diagram, always start from the middle, where all the circles are overlapping or intersecting with each other. So here it says 15 students study geography, history, and religious studies. All the students in year 11 must study at least one subject. So there will be no numbers outside these three circles. So I start from the middle, where all three circles are intersecting. 15. Then it says 21 students study geography and history. Geography and history, 21 students. Of them, 15 are here. So 21 minus 15 is equal to 6. That will go there. 16 study geography and RE. 16 study geography and RE. 15 are already there. So one student is going to be here. Next, 30 students study geography. Now I've got 16. 15 plus 1 is 16, plus 6 is 22. 15, 16, 6 is 22. So you do 30 minus 22, 8. Those 8 students study only geography. 18 study only religious studies. So religious studies, you've got 18. Only 18 students do religious studies. So 37 study religious studies. So 18 plus 1 plus 15. 19 plus 15 is 34 for RE. And there are 37 students who study RE. So 37 minus 34 is equal to 3. That 3 is going to go there. So altogether, how many students have I got? I've got 8 plus 1 plus 18 plus 6 plus 15 plus 3 is equal to, okay, 8 plus 1 is 9, 9 plus 18 is 27, 27 plus 3 is 30, 30 plus 15 is 45, 45 plus 6 is 51. Total number of students 65. So you do 65 minus 51, which is going to be 14 students who study only history. So I have completed my Venn diagram. Now next part of the question is asking me, okay, there are a student in year 11 who studies both history and religious studies. So I'm actually looking at these two. Okay, so study both history and religious studies. So I'm actually looking at this part. They study both history and religious studies, is chosen at random, and work out the probability that student does not study geography. So you see there are 18 students altogether, and of them 15 are studying geography. So 3 are not studying geography. So it will be 3 out of 18, which is going to be 1 out of 6. Okay, so 1 out of 6 will be your answer. We'll keep it there. My next question is a direct proportion question. T is directly proportional to the cube of R. So I can start off by writing T is proportional to R cubed, or T is equal to K R cubed. T is 21.76, R is 4. We need to find a formula for T in terms of R. So I'm going to do 21.76 is equal to K times 4 cubed. So K is going to be 21.76 over 4 cubed, which is going to give you 0.34. That's the value of K. So your formula is going to be T is equal to 0.34 R cubed. Now work out the value of T when R is equal to 6. So T is equal to 0.34 times 6 cubed, which gives you 73.44. This question was pretty simple. There was no complicated calculations involved. Right, let's move on to question number 15. That will be the last question of the third segment. So the total surface area of a solid hemisphere is equal to the curved surface area of a cylinder. The radius of the hemisphere is r centimeter. The radius of the cylinder is twice the radius of the hemisphere. So if this is r, the radius of the hemisphere, radius of the cylinder is going to be 2r. So we looked at the curved surface area of the cylinder is equal to 2 pi r h, which is going to be, because the radius is 2r, so I'm going to use 2 pi times 2r times h, which is 4 pi r h. As for the total surface area of the hemisphere is 4 pi r squared. 4 pi r squared is the area, curved surface area of a hemisphere, divided by 2 plus the pi r squared, which is the flat surface of the hemisphere, and that will give me 3 pi r squared. Now if these two are equal, we can find out the value of h in terms of r. So we can write down 4 pi r h is 3 pi r squared, or h is equal to 3 pi r squared divided by 4 pi r h, which is 3 over 4 h. 3 over 4. Okay, so made a slight mistake here. 4 pi r h is equal to 3 pi r squared. So h will be 3 pi r squared divided by 4 pi r, which is 3r over 4. Now, it says the volume of the hemisphere to volume of the cylinder is 1 to m. Find the value of m. So let's see what the volume of the hemisphere is. Volume of a hemisphere is 4/3 pi r cubed divided by 2. It is going to give you 4 over 6 pi r cubed. This is for the hemisphere. Now the volume of the cylinder is going to be pi r squared h. Now we know the radius of the cylinder is 2r, so instead of that I can now write down pi times 2r squared, and the value of h we found out as 3r over 4. So when I simplify that, I get pi times 4r squared times 3r over 4 will give me 3 pi r cubed. 3 pi r cubed. That is the volume of the cylinder. Now I'm going to move down a little bit. So they said the volume of the hemisphere to the volume of the cylinder is 1 to m. So volume to volume of cylinder is 1 to m. The volume of the hemisphere was 4/6 pi r cubed, and the volume of the cylinder is 3 pi r cubed. So if I want to find out the value of m, I have to divide both of them by 4/6 pi r cubed. So m is going to be 3 pi r cubed divided by 4 pi r cubed over 6, or 3 pi r cubed times pi 6 over 4 pi r cubed. The pi r cube will cancels out. 3 times 6 is 18. 18 divided by 4 gives you 4.5. So the value of m is 4.5. So that brings us to the end of the third segment, and we'll look at the last segment where we'll be doing question number 16 till the end of the test page.